Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of this week's Top 10. In today's show we will be featuring the top 10 most dangerous jobs in America, and you won't believe what jobs made it on this list. Now I know some of you are thinking this is an easy one because jobs like police work, fireman jobs, maybe a prison guard or even armored truck drivers must be on this list, right? Well, that's what I thought, and if you're thinking that as well, then you would be wrong. But hey, that's okay. Today, you and I are going to find out what is the top 10 most dangerous job in America. So if you're ready, let's begin. Okay, at number 10, we have first line supervisors for landscaping, lawn services, and groundskeeping workers. You know, there was 5,200 workplace deaths last year, and most commonly due to transportation, which is roughly 40% of all work-related deaths. These guys spend a lot of time going from job site to job site, which puts them at a higher risk factor, which is pretty obvious due to the fact that they have 142 fatal injuries every year and 1,100 fatal injuries. And at number 9, we have first line supervisors in construction trade and laborers. There's actually 2/3 of the people that died in this trade were independent workers. Some were transportation related. The rest were either from the equipment, blunt objects, or from slips and falls. At 8, we have steel and structural iron workers. While the numbers seem low for deaths, their rate is much, much higher because there are less of them. And, I can see why. A slip and fall here in this profession, and you're a statistic real fast. Number 7, we have farmers, ranchers, and agriculture workers. The death rate for this profession is mostly transportation related. But I tell you something, in researching the statistics, I found out that the majority of fatal injuries were caused by flipping and crashing tractors. I found that to be quite interesting. I didn't realize you could even flip and crash a tractor like that. I mean, have you ever been stuck behind a tractor before? Because you're not going anywhere anytime soon. I always thought they were just kind of big and slow. But here we are with 257 fatal injuries. Pretty crazy. Number 6, truck drivers and sales drivers. This one here, mostly the fatal injuries are transportation related. 987 fatalities a year is quite a bit. But like I said in the beginning of the show, there were over 5,200 deaths last year alone just in transportation. Okay, at 5, we have sanitation and recyclable material collectors. Most of the stats on this one, mostly being hit by other vehicles, transportation. And coming in at 4, we have roofers. Most of their fatal injuries are mostly from falling off the roofs, and the rest are in transportation incidences. At 3, we have pilots and flight engineers. Most of the fatal injuries reported here were crashes from privately owned planes. The rest were in transportation incidences. And at 2, we have fishers and related fishing workers. A small amount of fatal deaths were from boats themselves. The majority were due to transportation. Okay, coming in on number 1, we have logging. Statistics on this profession show not only is this the most dangerous job, but it's 31 times more dangerous than any other job in the nation. Well, there you have it, folks. Those are your top 10 most dangerous jobs in America. We thank you for joining us on today's Top 10, and as always, remember to like and subscribe. If you have a Top 10 you want to see, then just give us a shout below. Until then, be safe, be aware, and we will see you next week on Top 10.